Why do shoulders hold so much tension? Today we'll talk about one of the most common things I hear about in the treatment room. My shoulders around my ears, I carry a lot of stress. My neck is always tight. Why is it difficult? Why can I hear that clicking in my shoulders? What's going on? This is what people often come and bring into the treatment room. It's about where you carry your stress in some cases. Some people, when they're stressed, they can feel their shoulders rising up to their ears. They can feel the shoulder blades back separating away from the backbone, moving wider, and then their chest sinking in and their shoulders moving forwards. The answer is an interesting one, and it's one we're going to delve into today. The shoulder's incredibly mobile. It's got a lot to do because it holds our arms. It holds our arms, anchors our arms to our body, and provides that stability to allow us to do all the chores and jobs that we need to do. So the shoulder is incredibly mobile. We lift, we move, we dance, we carry, we intonate, we talk with our hands, and we create. What our shoulders are not designed for is working in a factory, working on a laptop. Our shoulders are not designed to drive in traffic. Our shoulders are not designed to carry our emotional baggage either. And this is a key issue because our shoulders are there to help us navigate our way through the tasks and the things that we need to do in everyday life. We are often in our thoughts, and when we're in our thoughts, we forget about our body. And yet, when we're in our thoughts, often our muscles are tight. We forget because we feel as though if we are deep in thought, everything is paused. Therefore, staying still and contracting muscles becomes a natural process, part of our everyday. And a personal thought on that is that our ancestors would fetch food and carry water whilst we sit and read an email. It doesn't quite add up somehow. So when we're stressed, our posture changes. Stress changes our posture. So stress is like short-circuiting your body to be with your brain while it's being frozen by fear. So stress is one of those weird mental things that we go through. And when we're stressed, our heart rate changes, it speeds up usually. We are bathed in cortisol and adrenaline when we're stressed, and so our body responds to that. Our shoulders may go up, our muscles tighten, our breathing changes. We're stressed, it's not good. So whilst that's happening and muscles contract, it affects our posture. So when we say, oh, the shoulder, why do so many people come in with issues with the shoulder? Well, the shoulder's probably closest to the brain that it gets. And with that, all the muscles of the shoulder and the neck tighten when we're stressed. We hold those muscles for no adequate reason. And in some respects, it would be good if we could learn how to relax those muscles before they get so painful that we need to get a massage. So what stresses us out? In the natural world, it may have been being chased by a tiger. But when you're being chased by a tiger, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end to that story. The beginning is the thought, oh, look, there's a tiger. The middle is, I think I better run. And the end of the story is either you are eaten by the tiger, or you outrun the tiger, or the tiger chases something else and gets that instead, whilst you go find somewhere to hide and get your heart rate back to normal. And celebrate that fact and not be traumatized by it because it's part of your natural life. Whilst in the modern day, it's slightly different. We have lots of things that trigger us to feel like we're running, but our lives are so safe. There's no need for us to run, generally. If we have to run, we would have that reaction that we would do if we were being chased by a tiger, and then we would get over it and get on with our lives. But in modern day living, that sense of dread is with us all the time because our brain continues to carry it. It's a shame because bad news being a caregiver, working with, I know, someone who is not conducive to your good health, stuff like that. It's stressful. Poverty is stressful. Life can be stressful. And yet, here we are dealing with that as best we can. And it's a shame. This is what stress does. In the modern age, stress doesn't switch off, and therefore our muscles are in a position where they don't switch off either. So, in some respects, what it means is that the body becomes, I don't know, an amplifier of stress or a recorder of stress, which is a good thing. But if you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, maybe that's not such a good thing. So let's think about this. There are sayings out there. Let's have a look. Carrying responsibilities, shouldering a burden, being heavy-hearted, and finally, weight on my shoulders, carrying the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. Sometimes as massage therapists, we see emotions, but we don't diagnose emotions. We don't diagnose. We make assessments sometimes, but we don't diagnose, but we can see. And sometimes people don't realise how much tension they're holding, but we can see it, and our job is to help to soften those tensions. And in some respects, identifying something and noticing that the recipient of the treatment is identifying the same thing becomes a powerful recognition, a somatic recognition that tension is there and it's being carried, and it can physically be let go. So in a normal day, how much tech do we deal with? So we may wake up with a watch that rattles on our wrist. We may go to the bathroom and take our phone in because we need to weigh ourselves and our scales are smart, so we have to use the phone app to get to record the figure. And then we may go to our phone or our laptop to check our messages to see what's going on in the day. Then we'll maybe take care of ourselves, go to the bathroom, do all that stuff, fix something to eat. But then when we are traveling, we'll have some more tech there, maybe some headphones, going to work, have a laptop on, computer. Maybe there's some equipment we need to use that's computerized as well. All use of technology. In addition to that, we're looking down a lot of the time. What if we're knitting, sewing, looking at our phone, working machinery, driving, looking ahead, driving, riding a bicycle, looking ahead, all of those things there. We're doing these things, and often it affects our posture because we're not doing that mindfully. So if we're driving, the wheel may be too far away. If we're on a computer, our shoulders may be up and our hands may be up because we are at a workstation that is not ergonomically designed for us. It's a thing. And when our head is jutted forwards and our shoulders are forwards and our upper back is, bent forwards, it's not good. And these muscles here shorten. Now, for some people, these muscles shorten affects how much your arms can actually reach up. In a lifetime, that can mean a lot. And understanding in Western society that bone density is one of those, bone density is one of those things that reduce over time because we get less physical activity. If that is the case and our posture is out of whack, that's one of the areas where we might be more frail in later years. So it's important that we look after ourselves and our posture, because in later life, we will be able to breathe fully if this thoracic area is open and free, our shoulders are more settled and in a neutral position, if, our upper back is not bowed over. These are really important because posture is one of those indicators that tells us in later life we may have, more shallow breathing because our posture isn't as open to allow the fuller breath. For women, in later life, there are hormonal changes, And it's important to acknowledge that hormonal changes affect lots of different things in the system of a woman. For example, muscle recovery, the estrogen in our bodies that lessens with age is really fantastic at allowing the body in the nighttime to recover from the work of the day. So that repair and rest and restoration during our sleep hours totally changes after menopause. Okay, we sleep less. Stress resilience changes, and joint stiffness changes as well. And these are really important factors. These are not anomalies that just occur. They are specifically related to the aging body. Okay, can't really piss about with it. Many women are caring for children, grandchildren, their elderly parents, their partners, and their communities. And bearing in mind, physical and emotional labour often meet at the shoulders. I really believe that women do take on too much, and the inherent sexism of the world allows that to happen. But it's really down to us to give a damn and try and work out ways to share out the work more equitably. So, what can help? What can help us? Noticing when our shoulders are creeping up, that can help us. Breathing properly and really learning to expand the rib cage and allow that breath to live to its fullest amount. A real breath in and a real breath out. I mean, let's try it. 4 counts for in, hold it for 4, 4 counts for out, hold the out for 4. Let's try it. Feels good, doesn't it? It does, it feels bloody marvellous. So full of breaths, regular walking, gentle stretching. I've gone over these before in the inflammation and what stress does to the body episodes, but changing work positions and strengthening the upper back muscles, all wonderful things to do in order to help us to keep those shoulders in their place. Of course, and getting massage, receiving therapeutic touch, or perhaps, as I mentioned before, some sort of somatic rest event is wonderful too. What this does is it gives the nervous system permission to relax fully, and we don't often get a chance for that. So what I've noticed in my treatment room are these reflections. Tight muscles don't just happen in isolation. Something's going on. It's not my job to identify what that is for other people. I think it would be worthwhile working out that for yourself, what's going on and why, and what you can do about it to allow you to relax a bit more. Breathing patterns notice, and often, actually, my own personal opinion, I found that mindfulness practices have helped me to manage my breathing better than any other thing that I've ever done. Second to that, actual physical activity has helped me to understand my breath under stressful situations that are somewhat mediated because I know it's exercise. And what that means is when I have been in stressful situations, I've been able to recover from them in a more holistic way, I believe. The hips and the shoulders are connected. So, for example, if you can work with your hip mobility and your shoulder mobility, it will assist you in being able to deal with tight muscles and get you back more on an even keel. And monthly maintenance often matters better than waiting for severe discomfort. So if you're doing something, say for example, you don't get a massage until you are absolutely in chronic pain, this isn't such a good thing to do. It would be better if you had a monthly massage and kept it in check. On top of that, or allied to that, or even without the massage, you would be better doing a little bit of mobility work on a daily or twice weekly rota, because mobility work actually assists you in keeping your body at its best, full stop. So when I talk about that, it might be swimming, it might be walking and really exploring how you're swinging your arms as you walk. It might be a beautiful warm-up whilst you're at the gym. It might be qigong, tai chi, all of those things, martial arts, it might be sports. All of these things help you to keep your shoulders and your muscles in a great condition. The question isn't why my shoulders are tense. The question should be, what can I do about my tight shoulders, the muscles in my shoulders? I believe that that's a better question. And once you have the answer, which is move, do it. Move. So notice your shoulders now. Notice how you're breathing. Notice your posture. Notice how your hips are set in your chair and your shoulders are set, and how your neck is at the top of your body and how your head is positioned. Notice the depth of your breathing. Try and incorporate some nice deep breaths when you realize you're tensed up. All of these things are great takeaways from this podcast. Because I guess, understanding your tension means that you're at the beginning of making things better. Well, I hope you enjoyed that pod for today about why people have really tight shoulders and what we could do about it. If you like, subscribe, share, review. I love 5 stars, and tune in. If you've not looked at my back catalogue, please do. There are some lovely pods. The first set of podcasts I released were all vocal only, and then the last set have had me on camera. Although I'm on most platforms, either audio only or video. So check me out, the Black Massage Therapist. Bye.